So the question is from Andy828, and it is: how many teaspoons of sea salt would you recommend for optimal health and athletic performance? We've all got the same answer to this because I know how we've answered it before. But Richard, perhaps do you want to start, as you're quite expert at electrolytes and things like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I think the optimal level is whatever your body needs. And I know that sounds like an obscure answer, but the body is, there we are. That's my old flyer, by the way. The body is highly attuned to the salt that it requires. So if you adjust your salt to taste, what you'll find is when you're adjusting or adding salt to your meals, some days or some meals you'll feel like you don't want salt. Other times you'll feel like you need more salt. So I'd listen to your body, but don't believe what is touted in the media in regards to optimal or the maximum that we should consume, which is around about 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. This, as the study that we've referenced countless amounts of time shows, the study covers 100,000 participants over 17 countries, and it shows a massive increase in all-cause mortality when we go below 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. So, I mean, teaspoon-wise is roughly 3 to 4 teaspoons per tablespoon. I would say we want at least a tablespoon per day. That should put us anywhere between 4 to 10,000 milligrams of sodium. The optimal range, according to this study, was between 4 to 6,000, but the study referenced excretion. So it measured the amount of sodium that it was excreted from the body. So this doesn't account for what was used. So we can assume that what was excreted is at least what we've used. Personally, I'm around 10,000 milligrams of sodium per day, give or take. I don't track, but I do it intuitively. Quite often when you are craving sugar, it's not actually sugar you're craving, it's salt. So I suggest salt in your meals, adjust the taste. Use electrolytes if you need to, because potassium is just as important, if not more important than sodium itself, although sodium is critically important. I wouldn't chase the calcium. Calcium is found in all the foods we eat, and we get plenty through the diet. And if we look as nature intended, there's a ratio of roughly 4 potassium to 1 sodium, and then it comes down further to magnesium and calcium again, with calcium being the lowest amount found in nature, apart from things like milk and eggs. Things that are designed to give life to something initially, where we need lots of healthy, strong bones. So bar this, past infancy, I'd say eat as nature intended. Salt your meals as you need to. As far as athletic performance goes, yes, we're going to need more, but again, use it intuitively. I find the best protocol is keeping a steady level throughout the day, rather than having lots in one go. Take it in throughout the day, and just remember that sodium depletes potassium, and we need both for athletic performance. So just be mindful when it comes to athletic performance, but be careful when it comes to athletic performance in regards to cramping, because a lot of cramps are touted within the industry as being a lack of magnesium, where in fact it's probably excess calcium. Calcium is excitatory to the muscle, the myosin and the actin. Calcium is the exciting part, and magnesium is what calms it down. They almost work against each other, but it's excess calcium that will cause cramps after sort of exercise and stuff. So it's not a case of you can level that out by increasing magnesium, to which I would, if you need to add additional magnesium, do so through glycinate. But it's usually a case of excess calcium in the diet rather than not enough magnesium. So a bit of a long-winded answer, but you're welcome to add to that if you want to.
And we're talking sodium chloride, not sodium on its own, as Rick, I think, pointed out in the comments. But I think when we talk sodium, we mean sodium chloride.
Yeah,
I think we all
Hopefully.
realise that.
Yeah, I've actually got British product here. It's keto electrolyte. So I've got this one, and I've got another flavor which I think is like cherry berry. Honestly, I don't use this every single day, but on days when perhaps I don't eat much in the morning, I've been a bit sick, where I've like lost a lot of electrolytes, my body's under stress, I'll actually add a scoop in, and I'll have that within about an hour or so before training. it seems to be helpful. I don't feel like I'm going to injure myself because I'm dehydrated, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I recommend them and I'd use them. But I think with sodium, especially sodium, it comes just salt to taste. And it should be eating a relatively species-appropriate diet. You can't get too wrong. I think people that benefit most from like the daily electrolyte use, people that transitioning perhaps they've got leaky gut, they're not absorbing all the vitamins as well, so you have to also minerals as well, so they perhaps have to take more. But that doesn't fix it, at the end of the day, you always want to heal your body from the inside out. And just anecdotes, I've been consuming on average over the last 4 years about 200 to 250 milligrams of magnesium per day. I still sleep at night, I still perform well in the gym. So it kind of tells you the body is adaptive. So like Rich said just now, you don't want to flood your body with 4 scoops of electrolytes, then go to the gym, then not eat any rest of the day. Your body wants to always be on even keel, so you just want to drip feed things like electrolytes in. Otherwise you'll get, cramps, diarrhea, all sorts of things. So
the next question.
Could Kiddie, are any of you going to let loose on Christmas Day or do you remain strict? Me, honestly, I'm going to have probably roast beef, roast lamb, or roast turkey, or a combination of all three. I'm going to have a couple of roast potatoes, a small amount of carrots, and a small amount of like cauliflower cheese, probably. But I'll probably pick the cheesiest part of the cauliflower cheese. Lots of gravy just to get the
crispy bit,
the
that crispy bit on the top, right?
That's the only bit worth eating, really. So really, I just prefer a plate of cheese, to be honest. But so I'm going to go a little bit off plan. Yeah. What about you guys?
That's the cure for veganism, that crispy bit off the top. No, I'm just going to eat a load of beef and probably drink too much brandy, and that's it. That's Christmas Day for me. No plants. I won't have any of the side dishes or anything like that. I don't even like them, really. It's not a treat to me, so I won't bother.
Yeah. Last year, I was invited to my mother's house for Christmas dinner. I've cooked Christmas dinner since I can remember because I love cooking, and I'm really good at it as well, by the way. But you know what? I used to make these big extravagant meals full of all these veg platters and all these cool little things, and now I just cook steak. So my meals don't look as pretty as they used to. That's why I don't take many pictures anymore. But I went to my mother's house for Christmas dinner, and she offered to tailor the meal to my needs. And I said, Mom, look, if you go in to cook me Christmas dinner, just put whatever you want on the plate and I'll eat it. Because one, I've been living the lifestyle long enough. My gut is healed. I'm metabolically flexible. The damage that any of those phytoalexins, plant toxins, and lectins, all of these things are going to cause are going to be negligible. I'm past all of this craving nonsense, and any downstream effect of these nasties in there isn't going to bother me whatsoever. So I had some, but I shouldn't have. I was craving carbohydrate for about 2 or 3 months after this. I loved the Sunday dinner or the Christmas dinner. It was absolutely incredible. I probably ate about 5 plates worth. So maybe that's where I went wrong. I maintained the ketogenic state, but it fueled all of my cravings. But the takeaway from this, I think, is if you want something, then eat it. Because the second you tell yourself that you cannot have something, you want it even more. And we've got to remember that we can eat whatever we want. Now, quite often, if I go out with friends, they will have something and they will say to me, "Oh, you can't eat this, can you?" To which my answer is always the same. Well, I can eat whatever I want. It's just today I'm choosing not to eat whatever it is that you're eating, that cake or chips or whatever. Tomorrow, I may decide I want to eat it. But when tomorrow comes, generally, I don't want to eat it again because I love the food that I eat. But we've got to understand that this is just as much of a mental game as anything else. And I think if we can be flexible enough that we can indulge a little bit over Christmas with our family, there are far worse things to be doing. I won't be eating any vegetables this year. It didn't work so well for me last year. So lesson learned for me. But what I have found within the community is that if you give yourself that little bit of breathing room and you allow yourself to have these little niceties, or whatever you want to call them, then psychologically it empowers you to make better choices. And think of it as a mental reset, because sometimes we crave these foods so intensely that we will break and just indulge. If there's any time of the year to indulge, it's going to be Christmas time. Give yourself the right to indulge if you want to. And if you decide you don't want to, then it doesn't matter. But don't beat yourself up if you decide to have some mashed potato or some roasties, or or some cauliflower or broccoli, whatever your poison is. Don't beat yourself up. I think we've all got to we all have to let our head down occasionally. But personally, it's just going to be meat all the way for me.
I think that's a really good point. If you're going to indulge, absolutely enjoy it, have fun, don't worry about it. There was a couple of Christmases ago, after I'd been carnivore for many years already, and we had this massive, great rib roast from this organic farm, and loads more fat around it, and we roasted it down. It was amazing. I thought, that's all I'm going to have. The kids and the missus, they wanted some roast potatoes and parsnips or whatever. None of that green crap, So I roasted them. I sorted all them out, and I thought, do you know what? The one plant matter that I miss is buttery potatoes. They were so good. So I thought, just today, I'm going to absolutely stuff myself. I'm going to eat those potatoes. And back when I was really inflamed with rheumatoid arthritis, I would have like 2 fries and I couldn't walk the next day. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to have a great big feast on these potatoes. And I thought, I won't walk tomorrow, but what the fuck, I just sit in front of the TV. Anyway, I ate all of these and I absolutely pigged out. And I can't say that my stomach felt amazing. It didn't, but it wasn't that bad. Did a couple of farts. Hadn't seen them for a while. As you know, they tend to disappear. But no joint issues, nothing, because I think my gut had healed by then. So it didn't give me any problems. And there was no problem whatsoever. And that was it. I didn't have any for about like another year or something. And I tried a couple and whatever, and it just wasn't really worth it. But yeah, as long as you're healed up and you're healthy. I mean, I don't think that we ever ate plants because we needed plants. We got them seasonally for the benefit of the plants to go and poo somewhere else and spread the seeds. And so they gave us nuts and berries that taste quite nice. And we ate that. So we're perfectly equipped to deal with those toxins. If you're healthy, you've always been healthy, and you've otherwise, eaten pretty well and whatever. If you do that, you're gonna deplete those toxins pretty quickly. Somebody put up here, about Anthony not having any salt anymore, and Anthony Chafee, that is, not having any salt anymore, and blah blah. Again, the same thing kind of applies to that. That I think. We didn't have little salt shakers. We didn't have that kind of thing. We roasted a load of meat and we ate it, and that was fine. And you've got to bear in mind that Anthony has never been really ill. He's never really, destroyed his body so much that he needs to bring it back from a state of horrible dysfunction. And so he's sort of got to a point where he doesn't need to eat salt and he eats meat. That's absolutely fine. But it depends on the person. If, just as if you've got to heal the gut and you've got issues with inflammation and whatever, Anthony really hasn't that much. And so he's got to a point where he doesn't need to eat salt. That's fine. That's different for other people. But I wouldn't worry about the salt, because that's one sort of additive to the meat that doesn't create leaky gut, doesn't cause any problems. If you want to eat it, eat it. But, it's a bit difficult comparing yourself to somebody like Anthony, who's been really pretty healthy all his life. And Landers put up here, just while I'm on it, good evening, gentlemen. A big shout out to Phil after watching his video with Dr. Chafee. After watching for almost 3 hours, I'm impressed with Phil's tenacity. Thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, I love chatting to Anthony. We have fun. He's a good guy. He's very entertaining.
I'm different to everyone here. I won't indulge because I know that I won't be good the next day. And I think that's the realism of it. I just wanted to get that across. So I absolutely agree with everything that everyone said. If you can indulge and enjoy it, if you do indulge, don't be guilty. If you could indulge and it does cause you a little bit of a problem, but you go in with informed consent, there you go. Then that's great. If you have a potato, but you're not going to feel great, but you still want one, that's fine. And I've been doing this 5 years, and I've done that in the past. And this year was a turning point. It was like, I'm not doing that again. Sorry, I just want to feel my best. And I know my best doesn't include potatoes and veg and stuff like that. So I just wanted people to have the permission to do that as well, and just be confident about it. I mean, if people are giving you stick for not eating a potato, they're not a particularly good friend, are they, really? If you're going to lose a friend because you didn't eat a potato, then you need to get some different friends, personally. So that's it. I mean, just be confident, enjoy the stuff that you want to eat. Last year my wife does an amazing beef Wellington, and I ate a beef Wellington and I regretted it the next day, not because it was horrible, but because it made me feel horrible. I love it, but it doesn't love me. It's really that simple. And
what is the beef Wellington? Is it like a steak in some rubber boot or something?
It's a pastry, yeah. And it's got sort of like a mushroomy thing on it, and I mean it's lovely, but like I say, doesn't love me back. So this year I will just be eating the carnivore stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, all the best stuff on the roast dinner Christmas menu is from an animal, if you think about it. I mean, other than stuffing maybe, but that's my own little my little pleasure. So our next question is from Matthew. It's, have you seen Dr. Baker's video with the Plonker vegan? Build lots more human infrastructure and gets rid of many animals. The carbon cycle and many animals are crucial for a healthy diet. I've not seen that video. Have you guys?
Yeah, I've seen a short of it, and Ben suffered through the whole thing today, I think. It's hilarious. Yeah, these people are barking mad. Something's gone horribly wrong. The brain shrinks down. They get aggressive from lack of B vitamins. The whole thing's gone crazy. I mean, there was one video out there a while ago about vegans who wanted to actually put a fence up in the middle of the Serengeti and separate the vegetarian animals from the carnivorous ones until the carnivorous ones learn to eat plants. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. And there was something in that one that Shawn put up, about some those vegans. They were on about how, no, nature is wrong.
Thanks for listening to a short extract from the weekly Carnivore Team GB podcast. The full version is available online, or you can listen live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK time.